Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2012, and the Sun has come into the same place it does every year, into a fellow fire sign, Leo, and so that really bodes well for you. And actually it comes into what I call the house of fun in your chart, so you could do with some fun, I'm sure, particularly after last month. Because this month for you, where the Sun is of the lighter, brighter, more spontaneous sort of vibration around, which tends to mean that you just have that little bit more access to entertaining activities, more opportunities to do the kinds of things that you enjoy, that you get something out of, that gives you this kind of, that helps you sort of come from your core, from your center, whether that's more interaction with children, or whether that's you at the center of somebody's attention, whether that's a child's eyes or a lover's eyes, or whether that is, or an animal, in fact, you know, your pet, or whether that's you in a more enterprising sort of a mood, because the Sun here definitely bodes well for anything creative, speculative, filled with promise, potential, or in fact it's very good as well for anything to do with entertainments, as I said, but also leisure pursuits of any kind at all. And this is altogether a good thing, because in the background there is still sitting there this Uranus-Pluto aspect, which is years long. It comes up and down in waves as we go through these years. But it is years long and at times highly volatile when the two of them come extra close together, like they did last month, and they're still pretty close together this month. And these two planets are in the cardinal signs, and you are one of the cardinal signs. Uranus is actually in your sign, and the other one, Pluto, is in Capricorn. So you, cardinal signs, and you, children of the Ram, are at the cutting edge of this vibe, this frequency, which is having a planetary impact. You guys are at the cutting edge, whether you like it or not, of this system busting, consciousness raising, hell raising, consciousness raising, which doesn't come without stress. I mean, who would have thought, you know, that when we get this huge shift forwards in evolution, it was going to be so uncomfortable. And you guys are at times sitting on the edge of your seat, you know, because you don't know what's going to happen next. Particularly you earlier Arians, actually, but I would imagine you're getting used to it now. You warriors of the zodiac, you're kind of going, oh yeah, well, whatever. Almost, I think, you know, it's like, okay, well, there's all those hurdles behind me. Hey, look, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. Yes, Elton John, he's an Aries as well. So, yeah, and it's a hard aspect between these two planets. If it was a soft aspect, then, you know, things would kind of shift more seamlessly and ziplessly. But because it's a hard aspect, it comes with tension, struggle, conflict, you know, uprisings, revolutions, you know, across the world, but also in your particular chart. It will mean that some of you will have to be dragged, kicking and screaming, into your future, and at the end of it, you will have a much more secure and happy feeling. And you know, if you have your natal chart read, then of course this will bring it all down to size. This will put it all into perspective, because here all I'm doing is a very general overview of all the cardinal signs, so you mustn't take this too much to be, you know, in your personal life. But as I said at the beginning, there's a much brighter, happier sort of vibration around where the Sun is. That's up until the 22nd. Also, just to mention that mid-month we have a slowing energy being exerted by Saturn on your ruling planet Mars. This is quite fleeting, you know, in the general scheme of things. and Mars is now in Libra, as you may or may not know, which is your opposite sign. So it'll have quite an impact in this very sort of short-lived kind of a way. So it's akin to having the brakes, having the brakes being applied on your natural impulse to race around and make things happen. And some of you may feel this energy as a weight, a pressure, a frustration, an exasperation, a lowering in your energies for some reason or other, and that could be in your personal life or your professional life. And but on the upside, it can steady things down, give you a reality check, and help you to consolidate slowly and steadily something. And you Arians born around about between the 12th and 15th of April may be experiencing the energy the most. Now, due to the Venus transit in your communications sector, which started in April, it's likely you receive supportive feedback in certain quarters, of course not across the board, but where you do get this support and this facilitating and this encouragement, it will flow. And you yourself can be coming across as more persuasive, more plausible. So if you need to settle a feud, it's good for that. If you need to be negotiating, it's good for that. It's good for lots of things. And this is a great transit for getting out and about more and socializing as well. Now this transit finishes on August the 8th, and from there on there's this warm, sociable energy flooding into the roots of your solar chart, Aries, and also into the roots of your psyche as well. And that's going to be there until September, and this can bring a more harmonious feeling within, or stabilize conditions around you. Just give that little bit of fairy dust to certain things around you. People maybe, but close. It feels quite wherever you're based. You know, it's on the base of wherever you are, whether you're away from home on holidays or at home. And you just may be appreciating those conditions, you know, that you're in more. Also appreciating nature, feeling support coming from there, feeling support coming from nearest and dearest more, or those who you've got close around you, family, tribe, could be the neighborhood, it could be just a locality, but just an environment that you prefer, that you get something out of. So this is where the fun side of where the sun is might be coming in more. So getting more access anyway to the beauty around you, to the entertainments around you. Perhaps some of you are decorating the space, some of you digging a garden, some of you making something how you like it to be. You can manifest in various ways. A good time to be benefiting materially from anything that you're doing from home or through property. And it's more likely that you could be playing host or being the visitor more as well during this transit, to somewhere or to someone that you feel really appreciated by, or which you really appreciate. And you could just be enjoying the social interaction within your neighborhood, within your locality, and I suppose these days we've got to say over the wires as well, from home. Now, your ruling planet Mars is activating your area of close relationships. Remember, it has this go slow in the middle of the month, but in general, its transit is in the close relationship sector up until the 24th, when it leaves there and goes into another area. So a certain relationship could be helping you sort of discuss things, or helping you figure things out, or you could feel a strong pull towards someone. You could feel that they feel a strong pull towards you. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is for you to judge. And once again, patience may be needed, though, because of the nature of Mars making you a bit too hasty, you know, not asking enough or all the right questions, throwing caution to the winds, jumping in with both feet, and then you end up making a false start or realise that you've made a mistake. It doesn't necessarily have to go that way, but that's just me being responsible, you know, and telling you that there's two sides to all these planetary energies, and that's Mars's sort of off-key side, is being maybe too much like the fool in the tarot, who just sort of doesn't ask questions and just leaps into the abyss. So just keep things on an even keel and don't dive in head first before you're sure about somebody's intentions or capabilities. It might be in a sort of professional sort of sense. However, sharing with or teaming up with someone is definitely favoured, and alliances can be beneficial and productive. Sometimes you will have to slow down though, in order to understand things from the other's point of view, because Mars also, you know, apart from this over-enthusiastic side of Mars, he can also be impatient, narrow, pugnacious, and conflicts of opinion can sort of bubble up. So another slant on things can be very helpful, invaluable in fact, as long as you just sit and listen. You know, you don't have to be convinced or persuaded, but always listening to somebody else's take on something is only going to add to you, because then it'll help you to chisel out and clarify how you really think yourself and what you really want for yourself. And it may help you to be more effective, and really you're going to be more effective together probably with someone at the moment, rather than going it alone, which is probably, you know, something that you can do quite easily, Aries. It's not so easy to actually do things in a proper, balanced, harmonious kind of partnership sort of a way. There's a lot that you can learn from that, and then from the 24th, well, then feelings start to go deeper. Mars is going to be helping you to shift gears inwardly and outwardly. There's going to be a lot going on inside of, a lot more going on inside of you that you're aware of actually from the 24th. Finances and property or certain contracts or agreements could be an area where you should tread carefully, or read the small print, or just sleep on something before you shake hands on it. But however, that can be also a time when you and someone can happily have a joint share in something, whether it's responsibility or pooling resources. But both sides need to be clear about expectations and what, you know, where the boundary lines are and what the priorities are and the rules are, you know, and then you'll be fine. It may be to do with, you know, having some sort of contract with an outside agency, you know, so you can't really discuss things in this sort of up close personal way. And again here, you need to you might feel as though you've got to strive to meet somebody else's standard on something, whether you like it or not, and it could be around finances, property, a space, something lent, something borrowed, you know, this could, you know, emotions could be triggered from this time during the 24th, and there could be, as I say, a lot going on inside of you. But if you get that deep kind of fear thing coming, then simply I would suggest look at it, say, hey, come on in, sit down, make yourself at home, this space, and immediately you start to disable it, because it's the clenching up and the tightening up and the trying to run away that actually gives fear its hold over us all. And then just give it some love. Now, yes, I'm going off on a tangent here, but this position of Mars sometimes can trigger that, and this is a very important year when we're supposed to be trying very, very hard to neutralize fear. So this is going to be an opportunity for you to do that. On a lighter note, Mercury just happens also to be in a very playful mood. So it's in the area of the inner child, the same as the Sun is, and Mercury actually is going to be there all month. So so for some it could compute as romance, playfulness, sitting in the sun, entertainment, doing pursuits that you just get a kick out of and brings out your inner child. And it's a little bit slow in the first week because Mercury is retrograde, but thereafter from the 8th, then it may mean that you're thinking more creatively, you're feeling more enthusiastic, and enjoy fun, and it's a good time to hang out with children, friends, lovers, or animals as well, pets, and there may be more laughs and friendly sharing along the way. And remember, a problem shared is a problem halved. Now from the 22nd, the material, physical aspects of your life here on Earth are going to be highlighted, and you will be cooperating or liaising in a more practical, service-orientated kind of a way, but brimming probably with creative ideas because of where Mercury is going to be. And that's it for August. Now, after a couple of glitches this month, you should see on my website what the slower moving outer planets are doing, if you want to read about what they're doing. And it's very important for all the cardinal signs to be doing this kind of raising of awareness and consciousness with as much knowledge as possible, I would say. So you might be interested in reading that. You'll find it on my website. And also here you might like to listen to the forecast for your rising sign if you know what it is, or your moon sign as well, and then you can get some more pieces and start piecing things together, and just to get an idea of what might be coming up over August. And I wish you well, and I will see you the next time.